What's going on, everybody? Stephanitis TV checking in. Bro, I found a video that came out like a few years ago when Epstein first was supposed to be like dead or locked up. These two guys had snuck out onto his island and actually like took their own tour around this man island. This is like 6 years ago, and I found it again for us. So we about to run through the video, and y'all about to see. It's like crazy. Like, this island is supposed to have nobody on it. Everybody's supposed to be gone, but they're getting chased around. So here we go.
Shit.
Just crazy, right? All this stuff about Epstein and these artists and these political people, the Bitcoin, it's a lot going on out here.
Epstein Island. Check the link.
Holy shit.
So the guys took their own boat. You can get out there if you got your own boat. It's not hard to get to once you have access to the water. This is crazy. You know it's gonna be a lot of ads. You know, the people gotta get their money. We know how that go. Try to skip through all this as much as we can so this don't be too long.
Change.org here with Jeff Berwick, the Dollar Vigilante off yet. Another crazy, insane adventure, this time to Jeffrey Epstein's private island, Little St. James. And
crazy how well kept the island is. Look at that water. Real pretty water out there.
It was difficult finding a boat operator. Jeff, just start it off from here.
Well, we were in the area, and we thought, no one's ever
Wow.
been on this island. No real media, anyone really that I know of has ever gone on. We only get the information from the government and the mainstream media, and those are the two things you can never trust.
And that's
with
true.
information. So we're like, well, I guess we have to go and check this out and see if it's even real. But for all we know, there might not be anything there. Like, it's always lies what they tell us. And for all we know, there could still be some activity going on there. Maybe Bill Clinton's there, maybe Jeffrey Epstein's there. No one's looking into this. So
That's a crazy statue.
Well, let's do it. But it wasn't easy. Most captains said they wouldn't take us to the island. There's all kinds of
Yeah, it's probably restricted.
We had to work our way around.
Pretty
that,
sure it
so
is.
we weren't doing too many illegal things all at once. And yeah, just rolling up to the island and actually seeing that temple, which is there, so we have verified that. This is a lot of.
That's a temple. That's
of
crazy.
What was actually there was pretty surreal.
Yeah, and it was also kind of a little daunting, a little scary kind of going in there because, in some jurisdictions you could just get shot and killed for going on private property, and this is.
Look at the landscaping. Looks like a golf course. You could tell this man had billions of dollars. They were out there living it up. It looks like a private resort golf course.
Someone that was extremely powerfully connected to presidents, prime ministers, royalty, and was able to
all these crazy statues.
For some of the
like, look at that. See the cross over the eye. Like, who are these? This is just insane stuff that's being exposed now. 6 years later, it's all coming out.
Worst, most despicable acts in this world. This is a man that literally, when he was finally put to court, was given a slap on the wrist by someone who was previously working inside of Trump's administration that somehow was connected. Again, the interconnectedness of Jeffrey Epstein is just absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, we're talking about billionaires, leaders, bankers, the most influential people who were on that island, and there was really no one else to verify it. All of it, I really see from
the island still looks operational.
A guy who is anonymous. Or a girl
looks like a location that they're waiting for somebody to return to.
So, being in the area, we have to see what's going on here because there was other drone footage showing that there was stuff moved before the U.S. federal government came in. And then, as we know, the U.S. federal government, the federal authorities can't be trusted here. For over a decade,
look at this.
They let Jeffrey Epstein go on and be totally free. He not only had a private wing of his own jail cell, he was able to leave during the day. He was supposed to check in with parole officers, but he never did.
This man had a private jail cell and was able to leave during the day. These are the details that people forget so easily. Because, like, if you don't know about it, a lot of the stuff they're not going to expose because they're not going to want you to know how, like the dude said previously, how he got a slap on the wrist. This is a billionaire pedophile, and you're allowing him to leave during the day? Come on. That's insane. That's like inside work, like he said. Trump administration, the same lawyer that was representing them, representing Epstein. Like, inside favors. That's clearly nothing more than an inside favor.
Check in. But even the journey here of trying to find a boat, we were able to find out some other information about how this wasn't even that big of a secret on this island at all.
Yeah, talking to the locals, people have lived here for 20 years. They're like, oh, everyone knew. You just see the 12, 13-year-old girls waiting on the dock. They come to get picked up, go to Epstein Island. So it was incredibly out in the open.
That's crazy. The locals knew. And they knew because, like he said, there's little girls waiting on the dock, waiting to go to the island. So these little girls knew what was going on, and they wanted to partake because they were getting their families paid. These parents were selling their kids to this man.
And, you know, people like Bill Clinton came here, 50 times? A huge amount of times. Like, it's just like when we go to Bilderberg, right? The mainstream media doesn't cover any of that stuff. They don't cover, because we knew about this.
Please listen to the details. This is nasty. Nasty work.
Heard about it in the mainstream news. And we're talking about how Bill Clinton...
That's a clock. If anybody knows, right there, that's a clock. It's based off the sun.
It's really, it was just...
Let me go back. Like, it's a lot of symbolic stuff going on. That right there, that's the sun. And this right here, basically, is the arms for the clock. As the sun rotates, you're going to see the time rotate on that also. Come on.
And we're talking about how Bill Clinton's going there.
This island was... I'm pretty sure it was put there for some spiritual reason. They were sacrificing people out there, so you know they was using the elements also. Everything is done for a reason.
We did not know what to expect. We had no one had ever done this before. So we didn't know if there was going to be 100 DE agents, FBI agents, all armed. We didn't know if there was anyone on the island. So we had all these plans. I don't know if you want to mention some of the plans. It was a stupid plan.
The whole thing is pretty ridiculous what we were doing, but you had this idea because we were staying at some kind of resort. We were at Joby Weeks, and he's like an OCD kind of traveler. But we got these kind of wristbands here. It says Langley Resort. So, like, one of our plans, out of many plans, was literally just showing up there, and if someone stops to be like, oh yeah, we're here with Langley, you didn't get the memo, and then being like, hey, you got to talk to my supervisor, Jeff. Jeff, you would have. There was 4 other people. Then we had so many different plans. All of them fell through last minute. All of them didn't work out. I remember being so frustrated.
Look at the detailing.
I knew how important this was. We were kind of bickering with each other, like, come on, we got to do this. And then what ended up happening is this random last minute. The captain who said he wasn't going to. He said he was like, yeah, I'm not getting my boat seized. I'm not getting in trouble. But last minute, we were just going around the island. I was like, let's go around the island. He pulled up to the dock. He was like, you got 5 seconds. You're going to do this? Do it now. And I was like, literally, quickly grabbed my shoes. And I'm like,
yeah. I just have to say, Epstein Island is full of jagged little...
So we're going to say this. Big shout out to the captain that wanted to help this story get exposed. You know, he was, like I said, it was a local, so he knows what's going on. And he doesn't want this stuff to be going on in his community, so he wanted to expose it. We're going to shout out to the captain that said that he wasn't going to do it, but thought about it and got these men to the island.
Little rocks, and I didn't bring my shoes. I'm in bare feet trying to run, especially near the end. We'll get to that part, but we went through the whole island with jagged rocks. So it was like this sort of, we didn't know if we were going to do it, we didn't know, and it was just like, and all of a sudden the captain, he was really great. At last one he goes, you're going to do it, you got 5 seconds, you just jump, and you're like, jump up, and I'm like,
Whoa. What's up? I just built a button house in base 44.
Shout out to that captain.
You just built an house.
All right, look good. I remember in the back.
Like, they got so many palm trees perfectly placed everywhere around the island.
And I'm like, Jeff, come, let's go. And you're like, okay. I'm not going to be on my own. I'd be terrified on there on my own. Like,
that is a big island. That is a big island. That is crazy.
Because you just don't know what's there. You know, we've heard so many things, and we're on it's quite a big place with the mansion and the temple and all kinds of, there's a huge, what do you call it, sundial. Very interesting. But it was kind of creepy because at first we didn't see.
They got fire pits everywhere.
Offices and places. And nothing was locked. But it was like eerily weird because there's no one. That we later found out there was some people.
I mean, I got a phone call.
And what's crazy to me, if you look into the distance, right, that's the locals. Like, the locals can see at night this island lit up, probably hearing all type of crazy stuff going on. Screams, anything going on through the night. Just sitting there, and they're like, wow, this is going on out here. And nobody trying to expose it because they wasn't trying to get harmed. A lot of things like this, they have situations where if you speak on it, they'll be right at your door, or they'll try to pay you off or knock you off. Either one.
When I was running up to you, I mean, you were running like Forrest Gump. It was extremely impressive to see that run. But like when we got on there, you were like, okay, let's get the selfie stick. I'm like, dude, you don't understand what we're doing. Like, put down the selfie stick. Let's go. Let's get down low. Let's be quiet. And let's traverse this. And we traversed a large part of the island. We didn't get to see everything. We kind of stayed out of the fray. I was always looking, always paranoid at first. But we thought no one was there because there was no kind of signs there. But pulling up, I was always a little bit skeptical because
it's just like for nobody to be on this island, it's like managed, and it's looked like the grass is been cut. It still looked like the island is being maintained.
The grass was kind of taken care of. We also
See,
the was also taken care of, so there's people there. And it's important to understand here is that this independent anonymous drone operator, who's afraid to release his identity, who's flying the drones over there, captured Epstein's island with particular items in there that were swept between the federal government coming in. And with the federal government and their investigations not trustworthy, this is why we went in there to try to take a look at everything. And I looked at everything.
This man has everything on the island to where you would not need to leave. You just saw a bulldozer. It's an ambulance. Where's the ambulance going? She's on the island. This man probably doing role play out here, or has his own hospital on the island. Quick emergency access to get you from one side of the island to where the hospital is.
Garbage pallet. I went into the ambulance. I checked in to briefcases.
He's making his own cement.
Stone unturned. I remember there was a lot of people talking about the possibility of tunnels there. Sadly, we were not there for a long time. We were there for about a half an hour, traversing a lot of,
a clean ambulance. But why?
Like, there's no evidence of anything. But the most interesting to me was the temple. And I heard a lot of people saying from this drone footage that it's not even like, it's like not 3D, it's like a flat wall that they made painted, looks like it's like those all set. So we went up and we checked, and yeah, it's just a flat wall. The door is painted on. And I have to say about the temple, he was a billionaire. I say was, he's probably still alive, but he is or was a billionaire. That seemed like the cheapest little temple I've ever seen. Like, why would you just paint, like, I could have built that myself for about $5,000 I think. And the dome flew up, and there was no hole underneath the dome, which is what you would have if you had a true dome. So it almost looked like a Hollywood set. Actually, that's exactly what it looked like. Yeah.
And it's important to note that the dome...
There was something going on in there. You probably just had a different access, different door to it.
The most interesting things that I personally found were these like little satanic
gremlins
with horns on their heads that were all over the property that were very creepy. I also found a chair that was completely made out of horns and looked like some kind of animal hide. That was very creepy and kind of very weird to look at. But other than that, we weren't really that successful because as we're going through our little mission, we're like, okay, the full second floor, there's someone here, we got to be quieter.
Some type of buffalo.
And looked like some kind of animal.
I was gonna say elephant, but elephant not that big. You can tell the brown. That's probably like some type of buffalo, a bull. It looks like bull. Wow, look at the feet. Yeah, that's definitely a whole bull. That's whoa.
Pretty weird to look at. But other than that, we weren't really that successful because as we're going through our little mission, we were like, okay, the pool's taken care of. There's someone here. We got to be quieter. And luckily somehow I got service, and our good friend Joey Weeks called me. He's like, dude,
This island is well taken care of.
There's
With the mirror right there outside.
Screaming, are you
Man.
okay? There's people going around in golf carts. Like, get out, get out, get out. And I'm like, crap. This is not. So this is something that has a lot of serious implications. There's a reason the guy who flies the drone around the island is anonymous. There's a reason. Epstein was able to evade any kind of justice for his horrible acts for decades and decades. There's a reason why this case is so significant, and yet the mainstream media.
That table is carved out of a tree.
This is absolutely crazy. And we were there. We were also there at the helicopter pad, and it was even reported previously before that Epstein would just get on his private jet, land at the St. Thomas airport, take a helicopter over so no one else would see him to do other things. There was air traffic control that actually came out and
The man had air traffic control.
Children going onto the helicopter, going onto the private jet. So,
Nasty
the
work.
severity of this case is still widely unknown. We still don't know so many significant parts of this story, and the story is just erased from mainstream media. No, this story can't be erased. This story can't be ignored, and it can't be ignored only.
Yeah, this can't be overlooked because it's political people.
The
Actors,
this is
artists.
An open case. This is still a case that has a lot of serious implications where we have royalty, like Prince Andrew in the United Kingdom, that are still running about free to do whatever horrible acts that they want to do. And again, the implications here, the allegations here are so severe. And it's just insane. I mean, even talked to that guy yesterday. He was like, yeah, the whole island, everyone knew what was going on here.
Look at that stuff.
Holy cow.
They probably
too that he told us, and
the FBI went through all that stuff literally to, like he said, they came in, sweeped in, got all the stuff that was probably like anything that somebody could make sense of that would blow their cover. They got rid of all that. You can tell, like they went through everything, scrapped stuff, kept stuff.
we didn't get too into specifics.
Oh,
he said, there's actually
and another thing just came to mind. They're actors. That could have been fake FBI dressed like that with the suit. You can buy the FBI stuff from any type of military. Well, I ain't gonna say buy it, but it's not hard to get it. You probably can order it online, get a patch, put it on some clothes, say I'm FBI. Then nobody gonna be on the island. All you just gonna see just people out there, so they're gonna assume that's FBI. He just probably paid to have his people to go cover him up.
Quite a lot like the Epstein Island. There's still things going on, so we're looking into that right now. There's a lot of interesting things happening with this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why we need independent media. This is why we need
first
investigation. But
it's fresh coconut. That was a fresh coconut. I probably, oh my bad, I went too far back. But look, you'll see there's a fresh coconut out there. It's fresh stuff in the trash. Like, come on, man. These people, they were probably just there. Somebody was just there.
But he said there's actually another island, quite a lot like the Epstein Island. There's still things going on. So we're looking into that right now. There's a lot of interesting.
Look at that. Look at that. That's fresh stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we need.
So they just went in and cleared that out. Bust down coconuts and melons.
I mean, that running scene, we just stop laughing at each other how ridiculous we were, because again, I got the phone call from Kobe, and I'm literally running through half the island because me and Jeff decided to separate just in case. Because as soon as we saw some of the upkeep, some of the people were still there, we were like, okay, let's keep separating in case you get caught. I still have some footage. In case I get caught, I still have some footage. Let's make sure we don't get caught at all. But then after getting that phone call from Joby, run, get out of here right now. Running behind me, I'm like, dude, you're doing your little walk and talk videos, which are great, by the way. I love the walk and talk videos. I started doing them too. I was like, you get out of the open, hide into the bushes. But before I even got to say hide into the greenery, the bushes, you were off, man. You were not.
That's all. Okay, that's his trash area. His own compost. That looked like a compost area.
People were telling us to run from the airport. You can see the footage. I was just doing a walk and talk. If you don't know Dollar Vigilante, check it out. I do walk and talks all the time. And I thought, why not? I got back to the beach and I was so happy because I was off the rocks, because that was an hour of torture for me. And I get down there, I'm like, okay, we're only about half a mile from the boat. I'm just going to do my walk and talk. So I just start, and you can see Luke coming up behind me. He's like, run, you idiot. And as soon as you said, I don't think, I looked at the video, I'm like, holy cow, I'm pretty fast when I have to be.
and I just see them booking. I'm like, I start laughing a little bit. Like,
There's little trails everywhere. Buildings everywhere. Supply buildings everywhere.
You know about the Jeffrey Epstein.
The whole island looked like you can light it up.
He used to, usually bait a lot of his victims with quote massages, but he had a whole private massage room that was hidden behind a lot of the greenery that I had never seen before, that I also filmed. He also paid an estimated $20,000 for every palm tree over there to make the area more secluded so people couldn't on boats see exactly what was happening. And when I was running past that area, the massage area,
That's what I was saying. Like, come on, it's a lot of. I realized there was a lot of palm trees lined up along the island. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of palm trees. I ain't gonna tell y'all where. I was born in Hawaii, so I seen palm trees, but how many he had out there, I'm like, dang.
area. I mean, it was extremely secluded. It was extremely private. The whole place was very, very weird as far as vibe. But that also could have to do with kind of adrenaline,
I wonder. I could just imagine. I heard about that. I heard about that box.
Which was supposed to be, first of all, it was extremely secluded. It was
Hold on. So this right here, I heard in a story. I don't know who said it, but they were saying that he was putting people in there, putting folks in there, and literally having them just sweating, getting cooked by the sun. Then some people were out there, and he was getting magnified. They'll have them on the ground. They'll burning them with with a magnifier using the sun. That's another reason why he probably placed that island right there. Well, bought the island that was located right there.
But that also could have to do with our kind of adrenaline, or our kind of like, okay, what's going on here? Kind of last minute, spur of the moment excursion onto the island, which was supposed to be, first of all, just
so many of those things.
We were supposed to just go around the island by boat and then just kind of make an assessment there. And then our captain surprised us after having 20 different plans of being on the island. We were like, okay, let's just go. Let's just see what's going on here.
That looked like a tunnel, some type of tunnel that was blocked off.
I mean, it was just absolutely insane. Again, the Jeffrey Epstein story is an incredibly important story to really understand what's happening behind the scenes. There's still a huge layer that we don't know. This is why we took the risk that we're doing. We're doing this risk because we want this information out there to expose the bigger lies that the mainstream media is not covering. I mean, mainstream media was obsessing about Russian collusion for 2 years. That never exists. We were calling it out as a hoax. We were getting attacked because of it. And now Jeffrey Epstein, the most biggest abhorrent story, they can speculate so many different things. They have so many different witnesses, so many different victims coming forward. Now, that's just not important? Come on. That's absolutely ridiculous. Jeff, anything else you want to say about our little particular excursion?
I think that's about it.
This is just insane to see, like, how big the island was. Is, not was, how big the island is. Look at that.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
That's, man.
In this video. I would just say, support.
For this island is they're still out there cutting the grass. Look at that, they're cutting grass.
Kind of media, risking our lives quite regularly. It's more Luke than me. I'm not really a journalist, so to speak, but Luke is, and because no support, there's no pharmaceutical companies going to sponsor his things, and he wouldn't let them anyway. So, just support these sort of channels. At least hit the like button, at least hit the share, and actually you might want to download this and maybe put on other channels, because I'll be surprised if this stays up.
I mean, we take these risks because of you, and I want to thank Jeff,
This is wild. And so we're here 6 years later. I'm trying to bring this to the attention of the people, because this stuff's still going.
Going as far, looking and trying to investigate everything I could be, because it's absolutely terrifying. So I want to thank Jeff Berwick, the Dollar Vigilante. Check out his YouTube channel. Check out Anarchapulco, a great way to meet other like-minded, freedom-invoking individuals who want to promote liberty. We want to promote freedom. And
I almost thought that was a real cow.
Great event happening in February.
I was about to say, what?
We can't even talk about that right now. That you told me, I'm like, whoa, this is definitely going to be worth coming out to. Use the promo code WRC to get 10 or 20% off your ticket. Still not sure the exact.
Look at that, that island. Wow.
WRC, and I hope to see all of you amazing human beings in Acapulco at Anarchapulco with a more freedom, anarchy kind of mindset with your fellow brothers and sisters. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org. Keep on golf cart. Get the fuck to the side.
This is when they had to run. Jeff got out of there. Jeff was playing no games. There go the golf cart guy. So there's people, like I said, you can tell the island's still being maintained. He's definitely still got the money. He's a billionaire, so he has the money to maintain the island. That's nothing. That's insane. They did their whole little excursion and was able to get off. They got real lucky. They got real lucky and got out of there. Well, see, I had to find that so y'all can see that this island, what's going on, people been on this stuff and they like swept it under the rug. They, like I said, swept it under the rug and tried to keep stuff a secret, but it's all coming out now. We just gotta stick together as a community and realize that it's just not a race thing, it's an everybody thing. And these political people, these actors, and all these people that's been placed and put in position in front of us, and we've been thinking that they've been great people the whole time. They're sitting here doing satanic rituals, stealing people's kids, buying people's kids, got the government in on it, got the police in on it, all this stuff just to cover up themselves from not being exposed, and they're knocking off people. And it's just what it is. And this, since it's public information, it's hard for them to go back and just try to hit individual people because it's been exposed. Because that's just how time is. This is the year of the expulsion, and this is just the time that it is because they can't keep going along with what they got going on. So please, I thank everybody for watching this. Like, share, subscribe, and like he said, share this and get this out because people need to see that the money that we're paying taxes for is paying for them to hide people. It's not cool. So thank you everybody for watching Stephanitis TV. We out.